There are three categories, okay? Part of tomorrow's workshop is about requirements, okay? There are three kinds. There are things that people say they need, there are things they actually need, and then there are things that they don't know they need. The hardest part about all of this is what you just described, okay? Because you have people, and you're saying, okay, well, would you use this? And they go, yeah, 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 and you roll it out, and it doesn't get any better. You go, okay, well, that's what they said they wanted. The key to keeping people away from jumping to solutions, to saying, well, I want to see a screen that does this, and a button that does this, and that would absolutely be it. You know why? Because that's not it. The key is asking very different questions, all right? And those questions usually have nothing to do with what's on the screen, right? The questions are, okay, walk me through how you complete this task, whatever it is. Forget about the system, forget about the screen, forget about what it looks like, what you press, I don't care. Tell me how you do it, right? And you let them talk you through it. The key, and there are other questions too, okay, but the key is you don't ever want to ask them specifically about what you're building. You want to find out what they do. You want to find out what they do before they do this, what they do while they do it, and what they do after they do it. If you leave the question open-ended, you'll hear some things that will surprise you, okay? And you sort of push them to go into more detail, okay? Because they'll say, well, first I do this, and then, you know, typically I get a quarter of the way through this and someone pops in my office and interrupts me about something, and then I have to do something else. And then when I come back to it, I have to remember where it was. And you know what I'm saying? The story gets richer when you leave it very open-ended. And it's a matter of getting as much of that information as you can from as many people as you can and reading between the lines. Almost always there would be something, there would be a common thread in those stories that show you where the problem is. And it's not what they would tell you if you asked them, what do you want to see on the screen? You know what I mean? That's getting into what do you actually need and what do you not know that you need. I do a lot of boxes and arrows at the beginning of every project. In fact, I spend a lot of time doing that because I want to see what the intended process is, and then I want to see how people are actually doing it. You know, so if the intended process is point A to point B, what you usually find out when you do this kind of thing is that people go here and here and here and here and here and here and here, and then they come back here, do something else, and then finally they get to the end. And again, it can be mind-blowing. You're like, really? Why do you do all this extra work? You know, but a lot of times it has nothing to do with the software. It has to do with their environment.